Good evening and welcome to the CPC meeting for September 25th. Before we get started, I guess we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I know there's one behind us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll go around the table and introduction.
Heidi Pelletier.
Jesse Ellis.
Chad Leclerc.
Kathy Murray. Evelyn Boulay.
All right, so we have just one agenda item today, which is the Lake Street project. And what we're looking to do at this point, I'm just going to read the email, and hopefully we don't have any questions because I don't see anybody out there. So so at this point, we're looking to transfer and appropriate the sum of $75,000 from the undesignated fund balance of the Community Preservations Act funds account and or the FY21 budgeted reserves of the Community Preservation Account funds for the purpose of improvements and cleaning efforts in the Lake Street lakes and adjacent recreational grounds located on Lake Street for open space and recreational purposes, or take any other action relative thereto. So that's essentially what we're looking for to be approved today. It is cleaning, they gotta mechanically clean the ponds, and not sure what the exact cost is with that, and I mean probably once they get in there and start to do it. But also if there's any other cleaning around the grounds that they need to do, also this is covered in that article. And so that's coming from undesignated funds. Any questions?
So do they have any estimates on this? Is this basically for the cleanup, the majority of it for the cleanup of the
Yeah, the majority for the cleanup, yes.
So do they have estimates from a company?
I know that Ryan Vendy's has, I guess they did a pond or something in Lakeville, so he's in contact with them and getting some information and from companies and things that they used. So that's all I know. I know that's moving forward. So.
I haven't seen the specifics. I mean, I sat in a meeting to go over some of the options, but that was the one that I think that they needed to start with. Is this? I'm sure there's probably more. I mean, if we look at those ponds, they've done a great job over there. So I mean, to leave the ponds the way that they are, I know. Just going online, you see plenty of complaints just how they look.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they're ponds, but at the same time,
Well, they'll choke everything out. And
yeah, right. I mean, everything. You make a nice parking lot, nice area to fish, and
Yeah.
they look like that. So I definitely understand. But as far as specifics, I don't know if we have. I don't have anything today on that.
Sure. Yeah, I know it's been a project that's been kind of in planning for, I mean, years and years. And I mean, there's plenty of money in the undesignated fund balance right now. I mean, it shows us at, what, $534,439 and change.
Yeah.
So the funds are definitely there, and I mean, it falls well within the scope of the CPC Act. I mean, open space, it's literally an open space project.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, they're going to probably need, I don't know, who knows how much money they're going to end up needing to finish the job. But to Heidi's point, you know, if it doesn't get moved forward, then we're going to end up with a pond or a series of ponds that are very much like the one furthest towards Main Street on the right-hand side, where you can actually see it's overtaking the water line. And yeah, that's not going to be a pond after very many years.
Right.
So
Yeah.
need to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said, the farmers and the cranberry growers, they depend on it as well. So.
Yeah, I believe they start on the outside of the ponds too. With this, they go around the outsides to start, and I'm sure they'll work their way around.
Oh, I think it's a great project.
Yeah.
Just to my point, going forward, I think we should be getting just a little bit more kind of background information.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot. If it was 10,000, that's not much.
Right,
But for
right.
that amount of money, it just seemed, and to have absolutely nothing, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
really not the way this
research.
committee's supposed to run.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, because
Yeah.
they do this for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And you, I think actually you brought up the Lakeville, was that you? That
Yeah,
beautiful
that's-
woman, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I spoke
so-
to her about this, so.
Yeah,
it-
so they're-
What she told me is it's a lot less than that.
Mhm.
So, but like I said, like, to your point, they're doing other things too, but
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I would be okay with this, but like going forward, if someone came in with this larger request, I just want to see a little bit more background.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's no.
And because then if they don't spend it, then that money's sitting there, you can't touch it.
Mhm.
Some big project, maybe some big land acquisition,
Yeah.
or something
Yeah, that's
came
a
up.
good point, because
Yeah.
where is it going? Is it just going into an account until somebody figures it out?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the things that they're looking into doing, whether that, like I said, I think the majority of this is really just to the, to the ponds themselves, but I know what the lot's not completed. I know they just put in some lights, on that area. I know that they're looking into security, so, and all that stuff is gonna take some time, but I have to assume that some of that, this is there, maybe for parts of that project. I know we talked about putting a pole in the middle of the parking lot in
it
the
looks
island.
awesome.
Yeah, we talked about putting a pole in the middle of the island potentially, and then running electrical there, or can we run internet there, fiber there to put security in the parking lot also. So you're right, I mean, not having specifics as to what the cost of the bigger part of this is would definitely be helpful. I know it's gonna go to use from the information that I have, but I don't have the paperwork specifics, I don't have the article.
So who's gonna oversee this? Is this gonna be conservation or parks or?
Mhm.
Gosh, I hope it ain't parks right now.
I know we have our.
I mean, I think maintenance for
dabbling
parks
in it
eventually,
as well.
but,
I think we're dabbling in a lot of it as well, but I don't know
Mhm.
who's really gonna oversee it. But I would think we definitely will have a big part in it.
yeah.
And is there a timeline? Like, are they gonna start this right away? Is it gonna be a spring project?
Yeah, I
or-
think it depends on when. they start it.
Yeah, I think so. Nick, do you know when they might be starting the cleaning?
No.
No.
I know it was like a ways out though, because of permitting and stuff. I think they have like a bunch of stuff they still have to do.
Oh, yeah. Because, yeah, New Bedford has to be involved as well, so.
Mhm.
What'd you say? New Bedford has to be involved as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
Which I believe, from what I understand, that they're on board with this part of it, but,
Mhm.
I mean, can't see them being upset with us cleaning up the ponds,
Yeah.
but. But yeah, that's the amount of information that I know at this point. I mean, I think it's trying to get it in also before November, so meaning that they're probably looking to start it before April's town meeting, or at least get the ball rolling on some of it by then.
Yeah, I mean, the appropriation is a pretty generic one. It's not $75,000 just for the pond cleanup. It looks like it's really going to be utilized for a number of different projects related to the kind of Lake Street projects. And it even says in here we've got, cleaning efforts, improvements. It's kind of vague. But Chad, I think you've done a good job at kind of articulating what some of the intended uses of the funds are. The question, I guess, is, do we feel like we need a more exhaustive list of, we couldn't really get specific appropriations out of that $75,000, but a kind of a more fleshed out list of what the uses are going to be for the money,
And who?
and who's going to be overseeing it, and what the projected timelines are. I mean, kind of the same thing that we would expect out of a proposal from, another one of the committees or from a citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they have a meeting, selectmen have a meeting tomorrow.
Mhm.
I don't know if they need everything by then, if they need
Mhm.
our approval by then, if this is something that we can table and get that specific information,
Mhm.
and then try to quickly meet up again, just
Yeah.
to approve that. I mean, I know the meeting up part and getting a quorum
Can
is
be
the
always a
tough
little bit
part,
of a tricky
but,
bit, yeah, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be used in an appropriate way. But to Kathy's point, I think, for future proposals, it would be nice to have more information to work off of.
I'd say the same. I would be okay voting for this, but I wouldn't do it, like, for this large an amount, I would definitely want more information, because I know, we're up against it now.
Yeah.
They're voting tomorrow to close the warrant or approve the warrant, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I think approve it and trying to meet again would probably be pretty tough.
It would be difficult, yeah.
So-
And, getting pushed up against the timeline is never fun. But I think that for this particular project, I personally am pretty confident that the appropriation is a reasonable one, and it's going to be put to use in an appropriate way.
Yeah, and in the meeting that I was in, I feel the same way,
Yeah.
as kind of overview of what it's gonna be used for.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I can definitely take that forward with future articles too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we need more specific details, and
Mhm.
like you said, we're up against it, but the selectmen also have to approve it, so if they're not happy with where it's going and who's, using
Yeah.
the funds, that they can knock it down too if they feel so appropriate,
Yeah.
so.
And I think that that's a good point, is, ultimately, the onus is not on us to give final approval for this sort of thing. We're making a recommendation, and then Select and Finance and the other committees are gonna go through, count the beans and go through the project and ultimately approve or deny it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll make sure too, if we do approve it, to reach out and let them know,
Yeah.
like, this is what we're look into this, we didn't have this specific information, but we believe based on the information, the small information that we have, that
Yeah.
it'll be appropriated properly, but maybe they can get some more of that information.
I think that's fair.
Okay, so does somebody want to make a motion then?
I'll make a motion.
Sure. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so moved. All right, we have anything else? Anybody else want to discuss? I mean, I know we don't have anything old on the table. We don't have everybody here either. I guess that would be the.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I wanted to just touch on was, I know at the last meeting, Kathy had brought up maybe doing like a citizen survey for some, the CPC thing. I was curious about
Right, so
where we landed with that.
how did we do with that? So I did actually get the ones from the Housing Authority, those
Great.
are all set.
Awesome.
I met with Historic a couple of times, but we didn't actually get down something that they voted on.
Mhm.
Heidi, I'll ask you how you meet up with
Yeah,
conservation.
so we're not really overseers of the open space. It would be the town administrator, which I don't think we have right now.
Mhm.
So it would come in front of conservation, but I don't think that it's not really what we decide we're gonna do. It's more the people going, them reaching out for the open space in the town.
Mhm.
So, that's what they told me. I asked, and they just
Okay.
said, well, we can't, I mean, it does come before us,
Mhm.
to make sure it's, but it's not, I guess the town administrator is overseeing it. I just didn't know, are we taking on the open space? Because it's a lot. Like, I read all of those articles or the emails of everything. It's a pretty huge thing, and I heard that they disbanded the open space committee.
Yes, they did.
And I don't know, like, it's a lot, and it's
Yes, I
important, and
actually
there's a lot
did
of goals they
question that.
had.
Mhm.
But I
and-
didn't get a response.
Yeah,
So
so, I don't think we would be able to take it on with stormwater and stuff too, but I think it is important for the town, because there was like I said, there's a lot of, goals that they've been trying to work on for, like, since, I don't know, 2015.
would conservation have any questions that they'd like to see on that, though? Maybe more general type ones?
If someone knows of spaces, I would think it would be interesting, because I know Everett had mentioned there's something on Hamlin Street that could be used as something, but maybe they know of spaces that in town, which they would like to see preserved and, or, transformed into other things.
Mhm.
So-
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, really just to see, I'm sure there's gonna be, a list somewhere of the different,
Yeah, we did.
open
It's very
spaces that are
interesting.
town-owned or,
Yeah.
It's
in
not
co-op with.
really, like,
I wish
can't
we had
say
a
off the top
map.
of my
There's
head
no
now.
map.
I don't know what
I
the
wish there was a
sample
map.
questions were, so.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and it's a question, say, I
I
don't know.
kind of put you on the spot. It's
Yeah,
hard to
maybe
think.
I'll send them out again, and maybe that's something we can just kind
Sure.
of figure out on our own. you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I'll see the wording in some of them too. So
Mhm.
the articles that I have, but I should send them to you. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see them.
It's a lot, but I wish there was a map. I just wish there was a map of open space in town, and I don't think there is, or
Mhm.
maybe there's an old one. but-
That's what an open space committee should be doing.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's really unfortunate
Yeah.
that they did that. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, but we have acquired a lot in town of open space over the years and voted on it, so.
Joe, do you have park questions by any chance?
No, I don't think so. I mean, not off the top of my head anyway.
All right, so what I'll do then is I'll send out the park ones, the sample ones that I had again.
Okay.
And I'll send out the conservation open space ones. And
Mhm.
you guys just can give me your input and we'll
Sure.
take it from
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it didn't make it obviously then to Apple Peach. So we'll just come up with a plan B of how we're gonna get the surveys out to the residents.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
I mean, in retrospect, it probably would have been, I mean, there's a lot of people from outside of town that
Yeah.
went. So,
Yeah.
you know, then you'd cast a big net and not
Yeah,
probably
like
get
you
a
have
lot
to
of
ask
relevant
every
responses
person, are you
and-
from Acushnet? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why
So
this plan
even if
is-
it's something, I mean, I don't know what, you know, I don't know. Even distributing something at town meeting or making it some sort of form fillable thing that people could do online that could be distributed by the town via, you know, email. I know we've got a pretty strong email system for folks that have opted in for meeting notifications, so on and so forth. I'm sure there's got to be a good way to distribute it out to
Mm.
Yeah.
a large number of people.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what the proper procedure for doing so is.
Anything else?
No.
No? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Yeah. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Meeting is adjourned.